So FDR is our famous, like the first progressive president, like the true progressive, and people say Roosevelt, Teddy Roosevelt. But, FDR, was like, he had all just the New Deal and all these progressive policies. One of those things was the introduction of agricultural subsidies, which you folks, know very well. I did a Farm Bureau thing a while back, and they want the government out of their lives. That is their number one priority. Get that government out of their lives. Boy, they love cashing those government checks. And here's what happened. So we had slavery, and after slavery, we had sharecroppers, and the sharecroppers were most of them black folks who were coming from the slavery legacy in agricultural areas of the United States, in particular, in our case, like Missouri, down in the Boot Heel, working cotton fields, tobacco, stuff like that. And, so FDR started giving we had some tough seasons, and FDR started doling out, I believe in good faith, agricultural subsidies. The farmers in the region took that money, bought tractors, which was the new technological thing at the time, and got rid of all their sharecroppers. So the sharecroppers then didn't have a job, and they lived on the farms, and they got kicked off the farms and lost their employment as black people in Jim Crow, Missouri, Midwest, and South. And so here's what they did. The AFL, the CIO, the socialists, the communists, they all got together. And this was a huge movement in rural Missouri, in rural United States. You want to know where the socialists and the Marxists and the communists were? They were in the fields. That's where they were in the United States in 1939. And they organized all these black folks, and they had the sharecroppers strike of January 1939, based around Sikeston, Missouri.
Right.
Black sharecroppers lined up along 150 miles of highway in southeast Missouri, protesting the fact that FDR had given these agricultural subsidies to the farmers. They bought tractors and kicked them all out. So that is really one of the first, that was like about 15 years before the civil rights movement as we know it really got kicking in the United States. These the sharecroppers organized with the help of, again, the AFL, and the AFL and CIO were separate at the time. And again, communists, socialists, they all coordinated on just a grassroots movement in rural Missouri. So I say that because we have a lot of folks living in rural Missouri that, despite the fact that they're voting for people who clearly don't care for their interests, I believe that there's fertile ground, excuse the pun, for organizing people in these communities to actually start fighting back, to start advocating for their communities and their well-being, and maybe get their eyes off of, seriously, I did 6 candidate forums in rural Missouri last year, pre-primary. And at all of those, our 3 top candidates, there were 5 Republican candidates running for that state Senate seat. The top 3, you know what they talked about? CRT and trans.
Right.
They are all about an anti-woke agenda in rural Missouri, where nobody even knows. They don't know who a trans person or anybody that's trans. And CRT, you could literally know every black person in the county by first and last name. But that's what the Republicans were bringing as their platform, as their priorities to these communities. And I believe that we as Democrats, and we as anybody involved in politics, can come to these communities in rural Missouri and honestly in any part of this state and talk to people about their dinner table issues, about what's in their mailbox, about what's at their front door, about what's at their dinner table, and start connecting with you. How we're going to do it, though, we have to talk to people one-on-one. We have to have conversations with them. We can't just grab a telephone or sit on social media, type away. We have to build bridges in real time with members of our community that maybe folks haven't talked to or connected with, people that we don't know, and have earnest, honest, and I would say somewhat graceful conversations with these people where we know, because we're initiating these conversations, we know that people are going to disagree with us. We know that people are going to push back, but I don't think anybody can disagree on the fact that they need access to health care. I don't think anybody can disagree on the fact that they want their kids to go to good schools. I don't think anybody can disagree on the fact that we want our roads and our bridges to be safe. And this is where we start. We start on the boilerplate issues that are the real issues that really matter to the people in our community, and try to push this cultural stuff off to the side.